Hello guys, this is Mariam Zahra, and today's video is all about the supplies that I use for my drawings and the supplies that you need as a beginner. So there's nothing professional or nothing that is too expensive here. I will be showing you each and every supply that I use and where you can get them and what use you need them for and what supplies do you actually need as a beginner. So you don't have to just buy everything that I'm showing you right now. All you have to do is focus on the ones that I'm going to tell you about. So we're going to be starting from the pencils, and I'm going to show you the graphite pencils first. So the most pencils in graphite work whenever I do it. I use the pencils from Generals and Eiffel. So Eiffel is basically a Pakistani local brand, and that you can find from any store available next to you. And about the Generals pencils, well, I was gifted a full kit for that, and I have been using it for quite some time now. So in the Generals kit, I have HB pencil, 4B, 2B pencil of course, and charcoal pencils that are extra soft and they're very easy to blend. Of course, there are two of them, and charcoal stick and a white stick as well. And about the Eiffel and Mono pencils, I have about 5B pencil and an 8B and 6B pencil, because these are the pencils that I always needed. And I have to tell you something about whenever you're drawing, whenever you start the first layout, you need a pencil that is very, very, very light, even lighter than HB pencil. And for that, I have this specific pencils that I'm showing you here. These pencils for some reason are so waxy and so light in color. You can find them from anywhere. Moving on to the next section is about razors. So I have some razors, the most basics one. So the first one I'm going to show you is the kneaded razor. So what this does is that it pulls off or picks up the graphite from the paper without leaving the razor marks or stuff, and it is not very harsh on the paper as well. So it's easy to use and you can shape it into anything. I'm going to demonstrate all the supplies I've showed you on the paper now. I won't be swatching through the pencils that I have right now, because I believe that all you need as a beginner is a few pencils. Like, you don't have to buy the most expensive ones, because you're a beginner, you want to improve your skills first. So to improve your skills first, all you have to do is get an HB pencil or a layout pencil, and you can also get a 2B pencil, 4B, or the darkest shade, that is 8B pencil. So these are basically quick swatches. You can see that all of these pencils have different intensity of graphite. Like, some of these are actually darker, and some of them are lighter, and some pencils have the lead, which is hard, and some have the softer lead. So all it depends is what you need to do and how you're going to do it. So I'm going to be mentioning a pencil that is layout pencil, and I believe that you can find that anywhere from any store, because I think it's quite common to use a layout pencil. And to be honest, it's kind of light than HB pencil as well. And I personally love this pencil because it's so light. You can draw over and over again and you don't have to worry about it. Okay guys, so first I'm going to show you the Mary's eraser, and because it's completely new, I will be demonstrating it right in front of you guys. So I kind of shaped it a little bit. I'm gonna show you something about what you need to blend. So I have these blending stumps available. So these are available in different sizes, and I have a complete pack of them, so I can use them however I please. And these are available in every store, so they won't be hard to find. And they also blend so amazingly. I'm going to demonstrate that, of course, right in front of you. And other than that, I use is a cotton bud and a brush, a tissue paper. So these 4 things are used whenever I draw with graphite pencils and charcoal. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate right in front of you and show you how all of these items blend. First, I'm going to use a brush, and I'm going to show you how the graphite is blended using a brush. So the brush basically is so helpful to blend the graphite. Though it does not give a lot of perfection, it does kind of feels a little bit uneven at some spots and doesn't just blend everything out so perfectly. But yes, I'm going to tell you one thing, that brush is perfect for blending the charcoal, and trust me, it blends so beautifully. You're not going to believe me. You are going to see that in next video, of course. The next thing I'm using is a blending stump, and the blending stump just does the job amazingly. You can see that right now. The next thing that I love to use is a cotton bud. What it does is that it kind of blends. You have to use a circular motion in order to blend all of it. And the 4th thing that I'm going to use is a tissue paper. You can use any kind of tissue paper that you desire, and they're cheap and they're easy to use because I use them to blend the biggest parts that are harder to blend and that you can do easily with a tissue paper. Okay, now I'm going to show you the erasers that are my most favorite, and I think they're must-haves if you really want to improve your work. But it's not necessary to have these. If you have any kind of erasers that you have at home, you can just customize them for your own, likeness. So the first eraser that I'm going to show you is the Click Eraser by Pentel. So this is my most favorite eraser, and it is available in Pakistan in every store basically. And I got this about a year ago, and whenever my table is so messy, I lose all those erasers and they're so hard to find. This one is very easy to use, and it kind of erases beautifully as well, although you cannot use it for details, and it's a bit of soft eraser. As you can see, in comparison, I'm going to show you the normal eraser that you have at home always available. Next, what I'm going to show you is Tombow mono eraser, and this one is in a rectangular shape, and I have to say that this does a beautiful job, and really it helps a lot to get all into the details whenever you're working with your graphite. It leaves beautiful lines. It just creates so beautiful details. I think it's a must-have, and it's also available in Pakistan now. The best part is that, and I believe that you can get it from any country now because it's too common to use among the artists these days. I have to say that it's wonderful for details. The 4th one that I'm going to show you is, of course, the knead eraser. I have mentioned it and showed you multiple times. You can get this for graphite because I think it's a must-have even if you're a beginner. Fluid corrector, and you can see that it kind of gives a lot of brightness. It's a fluid, it's a white fluid, of course, and it can be laid out on any kind of paint, paper, or pencils, graphite. It doesn't really matter. so it will be kind of hard to use it for details. The next one I'm going to show you is the Snowman white marker. It's a white marker, and it kind of has a big tip as well. It's not very useful for working in details or smaller sketches. The third thing I'm going to show you as a highlighter is Sakura Jelly Roll Pen, and it's a gel pen basically, so it works beautifully on colored pencils and graphite pencils, so you can use it for any purpose there is. Okay guys, moving on to the colored pencils part. So first I'm going to show you the first pencil colors that I have right now. I bought the Faber-Castell when I was so inspired by different artists when I saw their work in realism and in colored pencils. I was so inspired that I wanted to have good pencils, and it's obvious that when you're a beginner artist you have low budget, and for that reason I bought 36 watercolor pencils, and trust me, they're so pigmented and you can use them both ways. You can just use them for watercolor paintings or sketches or anything that you like. And the good part is they're kind of a little bit waxy, so they're easy to blend as well. The only drawback is that they're kind of expensive, a little bit expensive, not a lot. So these are 36 pencils, so they come with decent amount of shades. Okay, one thing is that I have been using it for 2 years, and as you can see they're not ending except for the colors like the black color and the browns, because they're ending and you have to use them a lot, and that's why I have to buy the classic Faber-Castell 12 pencils, because it has the browns and the blacks that I need for every drawing, of course. But to be honest, it was such a disappointment to buy these, as these were kind of expensive as well, but they're not very useful in my opinion. They're just like any average pencils. They're not doing any good job, at least not for me, because they're not pigmented. They're just very average, or not even average, you can say they're low quality because they're not even pigmented. And if in comparison the local pencils from my own country, Pakistan, they're at least a lot better in pigmentation. So I bought the Goldfish Adventures of Fupa. For now, as the skills, as you can see, my skills, they're all achieved through these pencils. The next thing is about what you need to sharpen your pencils, because it's obvious when you're using this medium you have to use the sharpener a lot of times. These are the sharpeners that I have right now, and the first one, as you can see, it's quite dirty. I know it is, and I haven't even cleaned it yet, but I don't have to. I mean, it still works so wonderfully. I'm going to show you what it does. It sharpens the pencil two ways, like two different ways, of course. And the first one is that it kind of gives it a little sharp to it, and the second one gives it a very long sharp. So it doesn't matter how you use it. If you feel comfy with whatever the means you want to use, you can use this sharpener from Staedtler's, but I'm not sure if it's still available in the market or not, but I think there's plenty of good sharpeners out there. Okay guys, so the second sharpener that I'm going to show you, it came with the pack of 36 watercolor pencils from Faber-Castell. The last thing is an X-Acto knife, or a knife that you use to sharpen your pencils so that you don't have to keep on sharpening them over and over again. Another thing that you can use is a sandpaper to, you have to rub it up on the sandpaper and the shape of the lead will be amazing. But I personally don't like that idea too much, so I always use the sharpeners, which are great for our pencils. Okay, so where you can get these from? Well, I can't say that I got these supplies from one store because you have to explore many stores for this reason. But I can suggest you one store that is in Islamabad, and in Islamabad that's the store called Durrani store. Durrani store is amazing because it has tons of supplies. It has the Faber-Castell polychromos, and it has the Derwent graphite pencils. I think there are 12 pencils, and that's an amazing one. And I think the prices aren't so high, so you can get these supplies from there. Also the Click eraser, that I think most of the artists have shown interest in Click eraser. That's from where I got it. And also the kneaded eraser, the pencils, sketchbooks, paper, everything. And also the colored pencils, you can get it from the Durrani store. But if you are not from Islamabad, I think you should shop online, and for that reason I shop from stationery.pk. that is an online store, and they have a lot and lots of supplies. Like, they have the most diverse amount of supplies I can't even explain. So from there I just bought this Sakura gel pen and a few other things that as I remember. So I think these two stores are most amazing for you guys. Okay, and if you have any other questions regarding the supplies, please leave a comment and I will personally answer to you guys. And please subscribe the channel and hit the notifications bell so you don't miss any videos, because I'm going to show you a lot of things to learn. Thank you so much.